Alright, this is my 2024 Week 6 NFL Power Rankings. Let's get started. So starting off with our key injuries of the week, Cardinals get a couple guys back, but also lose an offensive lineman for the season. Ravens, Marlon Humphreys questionable. Panthers lost Shaq Thompson for the season. Brandon Cooks injured on IR for the Cowboys, Texans. Jerry Hughes and Nico Collins on the IR. Saints, Derek Carr is going to be out for a few weeks. Steelers have a lot of guys out this week. Titans get Cedric Gray back. Commanders, Jamison Crowder IR. Colts, Anthony Richardson questionable this week. And Bengals, Dax Hill out for the season. A lot of stuff going on there. So getting on here with the top performances of the week. Again, you guys can kind of just go through this. Just want to point out Kirk Cousins, absolute dog this week. Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow, absolute dogs this week. And Kareem Hunt and Juju Smith-Schuster, absolute dogs this week for Kansas City. You guys can look at this yourself. I'm going to keep going. Number 32 here is going to be the New England Patriots. I mean, they lost this week again to the Miami Dolphins, 15-10. Very bad game for them. One thing that does give me a little bit of hope for the future is they did finally bench Jacoby Brissett for Drake May. So maybe they'll be a little bit better, but still, even with Drake May, they're the worst team in football. Number 31, Cleveland Browns. Deshaun Watson absolutely sucks. He got benched in this game for Jameis Winston, but they were also getting blown out, so it wasn't like an actual benching. It was more so just, all right, we're losing anyways, just put him in. But Jameis Winston, I think, should be the starter going forward, but Kevin Stefanski already said that Deshaun Watson is their quarterback going forward. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me after losing 34-13 versus the Washington Commanders. Number 30, Tennessee Titans. They had a bye this week. I'm moving them down one spot because, there's a couple teams below them that got a win, so they had to go down, but, still, not a very good team. Will Levis is questionable this week. If he doesn't play, it's going to be Mason Rudolph. Either way, not going to be good for the Titans. Number 29, Miami Dolphins. They did win this week. They're going to move up one spot after beating the Patriots 15-10. Tyler Huntley, not good in this game. Still won, though, so that's something. Skylar Thompson is, they have a bye in Week 6, but for Week 7, they said Skylar Thompson could be the starter again. Tua is not supposed to be back till at least Week 8. Number 28 is going to be the Carolina Panthers. Dropped 2 spots after getting blown out by the Bears 36-10. Not a great game here for Andy Dalton at all, but he's still not really at risk of losing his starting job quite yet. He only had one bad game. Bryce Young had 2 atrocious games to start the year, so Andy Dalton's still certainly going to be the starter going forward, but I would not be surprised if they go and lose the next 2 games, fall to 1-6, then Bryce Young probably gets back here in the starting job. And number 27, going to be the Jacksonville Jaguars. Move up 5 spots after winning their first game of the week, 37-34 dub versus the Colts. It was a very good, very high-scoring game. Trevor Lawrence looked really good. Number 26 is going to be the Las Vegas Raiders. Dropped 1 spot after getting destroyed 34-18 versus the Denver Broncos. They benched Gardner Minshew. They said they're going to have a quarterback battle here in practice between Minshew and O'Connell to see who's going to start Week 6. Personally, I would give it to Gardner Minshew, but wouldn't be really surprised or shocked at all to see Aiden O'Connell get the starting job. I don't think Aiden O'Connell is going to do really any better than Gardner Minshew was anyways. Number 25 is going to be the Los Angeles Rams. They dropped 3 spots. They had a close loss this week, 24-19 loss versus a good Packers team. So not too upset at this week. If you're a Rams fan, you still have a bunch of injuries that you're hoping your guys get back here. And then in the next couple of weeks, and if you can get a couple wins in the next 2 weeks and then get your guys back, you have a chance to make a playoff push. But you're going to have to get a win here in the next couple of weeks to have a little bit of a chance still. Number 24, New York Giants. They had a really good game this week, won 29-20 over the Seattle Seahawks. It was 23-20. Seahawks had a game-tying field goal at the end of the game, just for the Giants to block it and end up returning it for a touchdown. So the 9-point win is a little bit deceiving considering they were a field goal, a game-tying field goal as the clock expired. That was going to go to overtime, but still, good win here for the Giants, and Daniel Jones looked really solid. Number 23 is going to be the Indianapolis Colts. They dropped 3 spots after losing 37-34 versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Joe Flacco was in this game. He played really good. But Anthony Richardson is going to play Week 6 most likely. if he's healthy. Either way, both those quarterbacks are still probably close to the same level of caliber. Number 22 is going to be the New Orleans Saints. They dropped 3 spots after losing 26-13 versus the Kansas City Chiefs. And Derek Carr is injured for likely three or so weeks. They said Jake Haener and Spencer Rattler are both, in the conversation to start. So it's going to be a battle here the next couple of days of practice. Either way, I don't expect much out of either of those two guys. Number 21, Denver Broncos actually looked really, really good this week. Won 34-18 versus the Raiders. The Raiders aren't a good football team, but the Broncos did look really good. Bo Nix looked great. Patrick Surtain looked great. This defense is probably the best defense in the league so far this season, especially their pass defense. So really good looks here for the Broncos. Number 20, the New York Jets. They're dropping 4 spots here after losing 23-17 versus the Minnesota Vikings. Not a bad game against a good Vikings team in London here this weekend, but they did fire the head coach. Aaron Rodgers had 3 picks in this game, so definitely not some good looks here. Hopefully the head coaching change makes a little bit of a difference for this team, but overall, this Jets team is not looking any better than the Jets of last season. Number 19, Los Angeles Chargers. They're going to drop 1 spot here. They had a bye this week. Not too much to say about them. Hopefully Justin Herbert is fully healthy coming into week 6, though. Number 18, Cincinnati Bengals. They dropped 2 spots after losing yet again 41-38 versus the Baltimore Ravens in overtime. Their offense was amazing, but their defense was atrocious. They had 33 points last week against the Commanders, but they let up 38 points. They had 38 points this week versus the Ravens, but they let up 41 points. Their offense is doing everything they can. Their defense has got to step up. They have to get a couple wins here the next couple weeks against the Giants and Browns. If they don't win both those games, this team is not going to make the playoffs. Number 17, Arizona Cardinals sitting at 2-3, jump up 6 spots. A good win this week, 24-23 versus the Niners. I believe they were down like 23-10 or something, something like that in the first half. The Niners did not score in the entire second half, so really good defensive performance from the Cardinals here in the second half of this game, and really good, win here in the division. Number 16, going to be the Chicago Bears, jump up 5 spots after destroying the Panthers 36-10. Obviously that's a really, really good win here for the Chicago Bears, who have looked solid so far this season. And this game was Caleb Williams' best game to date, probably, and that's really good. He's showing some really, really good progressions so far in the first few games of this season. Number 15, Pittsburgh Steelers dropped 5 spots after starting 3-0. They've now lost 2 straight games. It's a good game, a 20-17 loss versus a good Dallas Cowboys team. Not too upset there, but Justin Fields only had like 130 passing yards in this game. That is certainly a problem, but still, this team looks pretty good on both sides of the ball. A competitive game against a good Cowboys team, nothing to be ashamed of. 14 is going to be the Seattle Seahawks, dropping 6 spots after losing 29-20 versus the Giants. Again, a 9-point loss versus the Giants sounds kind of bad, but they were, they kicked a game-tying field goal as clock expired. Just happened to get blocked and returned for a touchdown. So, you kind of look at that 9-point loss more like a 3-point loss. Not like it was that bad, but still, you shouldn't be losing to the Giants after starting 3-0, looking like one of the better teams in football. They have now fallen off to be sort of around the middle of the pack where we kind of expect Seattle to be. Number 13, San Francisco 49ers. They dropped this game this week, 24-23 versus the Arizona Cardinals. That's 2 straight weeks where they have had double-digit leads in the fourth quarter, I believe, and lost both of them. So not a great look here for the San Francisco 49ers. They even had most of their guys healthy. Obviously not Christian McCaffrey, but Debo, Kittle, I believe, both played in this game. Brandon Ayuk actually played really good, and they were still not able to get the win. Very, very concerning here for the 49ers. Number 12, Tampa Bay Buccaneers dropped 3 spots after losing 30. What was the score? What was the score this week? 36-30 against the Atlanta Falcons in overtime. It was a really good game. Baker Mayfield was really solid. Offense overall really solid. They just happened to let up 500 passing yards to Kirk Cousins. That's a little bit concerning, but still, this team looks definitely like one of the better teams in football right now. Number 11, Green Bay Packers jump up 4 spots after a good win, 24-19 versus the Los Angeles Rams. Jordan Love was solid. Their running game was solid here in this game. This team looks pretty solid. Jordan Love finally got his first win as a starting quarterback, so that's definitely good to see there. But yeah, this team looks like they can definitely compete here for a playoff spot and definitely looking good in their division. They have a tough division here. Them and the Bears at 3-2, Lions at 3-1, and the Vikings at 5-0. Probably the best division in football right now. Number 10, Philadelphia Eagles 2-2, coming off a bye week. Not too much to say, just hopefully that they come off this bye week healthy. Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown are dealing with injuries. I hope they both can play here in week 6. Number 9, we got the Atlanta Falcons jump up 8 spots after a really good 36-30 win versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Kirk Cousins, again, 500 passing yards, I believe 5 touchdowns, maybe it was just 4 touchdowns. Either way, an amazing performance from Kirk Cousins and this offense as a whole. So definitely really good to see after coming off starting the season just 1-2 to get 2 back-to-back wins over divisional rivals in the Saints and the Bucks. Number 8 here is going to be the Dallas Cowboys. They jumped up 6 spots after a good 20-17 win versus Pittsburgh Steelers without wide receiver Brandon Cooks. I think Brandon Cooks is supposed to play week 6. I could be wrong about that. But still, this offense, Jalen Tolbert and Cavante Turpin stepped up here without Brandon Cooks, so that was good to see there. They didn't really lose or hurt too much from that. Their defense looked really good in this game, which their defense has been kind of questionable so far this season. It was good to see them perform really well this week. Number 7, going to be the Washington Commanders. Look like one of the best teams in football right now, led by a rookie quarterback. This is absolutely insane what we're seeing from Jayden Daniels and this Washington Commanders team. A 34-13 pounding of the Cleveland Browns is a great thing to see out of this young Washington Commanders team. Hopefully they can continue to keep this up, because this is turning out to be one of the best storylines so far this season. Number 6 here is going to be the Buffalo Bills. They dropped 1 spot after losing 23-20 versus the Houston Texans. Josh Allen, 9 for 30 in this game, 30% completion percentage, absolutely atrocious. This Bills team was 3-0. Look at one of the best teams in football. I had our number 1 in my power rankings just a few weeks ago. Then they got destroyed by the Ravens and lost to the Texans. So definitely not great to see in the last couple of weeks here for the Bills, but I have faith that they'll be able to get back on track here in the next couple of weeks. Number 5, Houston Texans. They jump up 1 spot after beating the Buffalo Bills. Nico Collins is on the IR, so that hurts him a little bit. They could have been a little bit higher if he was healthy, but that's a pretty big injury you have to worry about. Also, Joe Mixon's missed the last few weeks. He's questionable this week, so hopefully he can return, but still it hasn't really hurt him all too much, considering they were just without Joe Mixon and without Nico Collins for a good part of this game, and still be a really good Buffalo Bills team. Number 4 here is going to be the Detroit Lions, coming off a bye week. Not too much to say about them. They do play the Cowboys this week, which is going to be a very important game, especially considering how stacked their division is. If they fall to 3-2, they very well could fall to last place in their division. Number 3 here is going to be the Baltimore Ravens. They had a really good game this week, 41-38 overtime dub versus the Cincinnati Bengals. Lamar Jackson was amazing here in this game. Their defense, obviously a little bit poor performance here, allowing 38 points, but when their offense is going to perform as it does and you get the win, you're not really too upset about a defense letting up that many points. They look like one of the best teams in football, without a doubt. Number 2, Minnesota Vikings. Sam Darnold had a pretty poor performance here. They still won, though, 23-17 versus the Jets. So even with a bad performance from Sam Darnold and, Aaron Jones getting injured in this game, you're still not all too worried about this team. They look like one of the best teams in the NFC for sure, 100% there. As long as Aaron Jones isn't there, he's not supposed to be a long-term injury. He could even be back here. I believe they have a bye in week 6, so he could be back in week 7 just fine. TJ Hawkinson might be back in week 7, so they're not even at full strength right now. TJ Hawkinson's not played a single game. If he comes back in week 7, this offense could be even better than it has been, which is kind of scary. Number 1 here going to be the Kansas City Chiefs. They have their injury issues, of course, on their team. Rashee Rice is officially out for the entire season. Sliver of hope for the playoffs, but not looking very likely there as well. But again, a really good win this week, 26-13 over the New Orleans Saints. Juju took a big step up as wide receiver 1 this week. Kareem Hunt took a big step up as running back 1. Clyde Edwards-Helaire should be back in week 7 after their Week 6 bye, so they should be getting more and more healthy there as well. Their wide receivers are an issue, but their running back, getting Clyde Edwards-Helaire back should definitely be a plus for this running game. But then again, Kareem Hunt and Juju Smith-Schuster, two guys that were not on their team in preseason, are now two of the best players for this team this week. So that's a very, very good sign. I would expect the Chiefs to still try to make a move for a guy like Amari Cooper to throw that wide receiver hole. But so far in the first week without, their top receiver, Rashee Rice, it didn't hurt them. So that's a good thing to see for the Chiefs. Looking up here as the game picks, I went 8-6 last week. Not great, not horrible either. This week I got the Niners over the Seahawks. Definitely could go either way, but I'm picking the Niners here. Bears over Jags. The Bears played really good. Jags have had one good game all year, so I'll take the Bears there. Ravens Commanders, that should be a shootout, but I'm going to take the experienced Ravens. Texans Patriots should be easy. That is my lock of the week. Eagles Browns should be pretty easy. The Browns suck. Packers Cardinals could be close. Taking the Packers there. Definitely could go either way. Colts Titans. We don't even know who's the quarterback in either of these games. It could be Joe Flacco or Anthony Richardson for the Colts, and it could be Will Levis or Mason Rudolph for the Titans. Either way, I think the Colts win that quarterback battle, and they win the game. Bucks over Saints, that could be close, but Derek Carr's not playing, so I'm going to take the Bucks. Chargers Broncos. Broncos have been good the last few weeks, but I'm going to take Justin Herbert to win that game. Steelers Raiders. Steelers should win that game. Falcons Panthers. Falcons should win that game. Cowboys Lions. My upset of the week. Cowboys were the upset last week over the Steelers. They did not disappoint. They're even a bigger underdog here versus the Lions. Lions are coming off of a bye, but Cowboys just played really good. I expect them to come out and come out and upset the Lions here this week. Bengals Giants. On paper, Bengals should win this game pretty easily, but it's probably going to be closer than it should be. And Bills and Jets, I'm going to take the Jets actually in this game. With Robert Saleh gone, you have a new head coach in his first game. I'm taking the Jets. But yeah, that is going to be it for this video. Thank you for watching. Make sure to come back next week for an updated power rankings list, and goodbye.